course crazy grandma's name is Terry. I'll bet she has a fucking amazing mullet.
And then what did I say after that?
Smoking Pall Malls while watching her stories.
Oh, boy. Welcome to SKIDS PODCAST. I'm Shane Kopke. I am here with Tim Gage and Kevin McDildo Fingers.
Yeah.
Also known as Kevin McFuckface. Okay, McNichols. Fine, he has a name.
I do.
So, yeah. So it's been a weird few weeks.
What's that?
Me and Kevin have a friend.
Oh, we're breaking right into it.
We're breaking right into
right
it.
into
Holy
this, huh?
shit.
The tale of Bobby Boogilia. So,
It's a saga is what it is.
I'm going to actually, I need to pull this up.
God, it is a saga. I mean,
It's fucking wild.
and it just.
We talked about it a little bit last week, didn't we? We
Nope.
covered a little
We
bit.
didn't
Well,
cover
no,
any of it
no,
last
no.
week.
We
'Cause
talked about
we-
it before we started the show.
Yes,
Oh,
we never talked
yeah.
about it on
I
the
got
fucking
you.
show.
So we didn't title the show that then.
All
we
right, I'm
said we
trying
were
to,
going
nope. I'm trying to find where you fucking said this Thursday. That
Yeah,
makes
because you
sense.
texted me about it like that. Like I'm supposed to know the guy. I don't fucking know the guy.
Yeah, I texted. Okay, so I get this text from Kevin a few Thursdays ago. So, ... Just got the news this morning that Bobby died. Fentanyl overdose, apparently.
That's going around.
We were going over to
That's the
Savannah's
rumor.
parents' place. Not sure when we are going to be done out there. I go, man, that's shitty. Yeah, I mean, but we all saw it coming. So many, including myself, tried to help. He didn't want to help himself. It was inevitable. Still shitty regardless.
Oh, he's getting all. Kevin was getting emotional about that.
And then I go, yeah, I agree. So
More
I'll
like
be,
honest.
I was like, so I'll be done around 1. We still doing this shit?
Yeah.
I just go right into it. He's just, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah.
Well, this cat you guys both knew, right?
So, yeah, Bobby,
Yeah.
I'll give a little bit of backstory on Bobby, how I knew him. I knew him from hanging out with Jake. Jake ended up knowing these guys, Kevin and Bobby, and a few other people, too. But really, the way I first met Bobby was probably playing Magic the Gathering, is how I met him. Because that's I mean, I don't remember meeting him really before that.
Over at Jake's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just remember they all played Magic the Gathering. Jake got me into playing Magic the Gathering. And I remember, like, this happened not too long after 9/11, because probably a few months later, because I ended up, when I met Bobby, yes.
9/11. We'll never.
We all remember that.
We'll never forget.
I don't have an explosion. Damn it.
I know. That's why I went.
Too bad you don't got like a quote from Bush or something.
Yeah. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
I did not have sex with that teenager.
I'm an airplane pilot. I'm like, wait, you're an airplane pilot? Isn't that what happened that day? That's odd. But so anyway, I ended up meeting Bobby through playing Magic the Gathering with them, and it was probably a few months later, right after I got my knee surgery, because I couldn't fucking do anything. I couldn't go to work, so just go over there, hang out with them, get stoned, play Magic the Gathering. We'd play a 4-player version, and Bobby was always terrible at assessing what he should blow up with his disenchants, because he would never blow up my shit that was actually going to win the game.
And he used circle protections improperly.
Yeah, he was not good at that. It was
Been
great.
there. I do that
Yeah.
all the fucking time. Got 2 kids because of it.
Yeah, Tim's circular protection was the pull-out method. That didn't work.
I didn't even do that. I just thought if it was dark.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if it was dark, they didn't get pregnant. As long as their lights were off, the sperm didn't work properly.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
It's amazing
Yeah,
how
that's
that,
an old wives' tale.
It's amazing how that duped you.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow,
well.
you're dumber than I thought.
Yeah, a box of rocks has got me beat.
Holy shit. Yeah, it probably has less kids, too.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Box of rocks? You know.
You never know this day and age.
I think you know.
So you played some video games with this kid, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't video games,
Cards.
stupid. It's cards.
Oh, okay.
Card game called Magic the Gathering. It's a fucking real game, Tim.
I know. I got it, dude. You're a big fan of that.
I
know.
like the game. I
A lot of
don't
cool
like some of the
cards.
politics,
That
but
one-
the game.
That one singer guy's a big fan of him.
Yeah. Post Malone.
Post
Malone. That's
yeah.
right. He's got the ring.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
spent
spent
$2 million
Yeah.
on that fucking card.
Guy got $2 million for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
He
What
pulled
a
it out of a
luck-
pack and sold it to
What
Post
a
Malone.
lucky son of a bitch right
A
there.
dude up in Canada bought a couple of packs and then opened it up and then put it on TikTok of his hand shaking like that because he knows. He
Yeah.
knows that it's worth well over $1 million. Like there's already numerous companies that were offering like 1 million, 1.5 million. And then
Post beat him out, huh?
well, he ended up getting. I know that this is derailing from the conversation, but he ended up getting hold of this guy called the Professor, which is down in Portland, Oregon, so just across the river. Of us.
Okay, yeah, Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
All right.
yes.
I know where that's at.
Well, there's another Portland, stupid. So, like a well-known Portland,
I know, but you point that way. I know exactly where you went. Where it's meaning.
right there.
Yeah, over there.
Yeah.
You know, Portland, Maine. I got you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you
Tim
know,
could have
there.
fucking.
Wait.
Tim's an idiot. So
That's true.
But anyway, so he the guy up in Canada got into that guy's DMs and was like, "Hey, can you put me?" Because he knows Post from playing games with him, right? So he's like, "If you can put me in touch with him, I have the actual card. I know that he wants it."
Uh-huh.
And Post, I guess, initially was like, "I don't." He wasn't even thinking about going to buy it.
Oh.
But then once he got offered it, he was like, "Well, I could be the only one that has it, so that's kind of cool." And I get it. He's a big nerd just like I am with it. It's also cool that he's a big gun nerd too. He's
Well,
a
and
gun
he's
nerd.
got-
and a
He's got money.
yeah. Well, that's the one thing I'm lacking is the money
Yeah.
to get the cool Magic the Gathering cards and the guns that he has.
Yeah.
You know, but he also lives in Utah where he can actually get all those things that are fun, the guns wise.
Oh,
I don't think that anybody outlaws the Magic cards, but you know,
in Utah?
yeah.
That is the devil.
Well, that's true. Maybe they do.
That's probably why he wanted it even more.
But so that kid ended up getting a hold of Prof. Prof got a hold of fucking Post Malone.
Wait, Prof?
It's
Professor. Short for professor.
Not the singer, Prof.
No, you fucking
No.
retard. Follow the
just
story.
What the guy goes by in
All right,
Portland.
don't call him Prof.
I'm calling him Prof.
His
Fuckface.
name's Professor.
That's
Or it's
short
Prof.
for professor. Prof.
It is short for it. I've seen Prof with a period at the end in front of things because they try to make it smaller so the name doesn't go too long. Don't look at me with those fucking eyes.
Just saying. but
Fucking
we.
cocksucker.
I'm just.
We're gonna get back to that.
I know the musician Prof better than.
Anyway,
fucking the
fuckface,
professor.
Let's
shut
get
up.
back on the fucking tangent.
So
God
anyway,
damn it.
he got a hold of him. I guess the management got a hold of that kid and invited him to one of Post Malone's concerts.
No, I'm
and-
saying let's get off that
I
tangent. and get back
understand
to the
that. We're
actual
going
story.
to get back to it. He asked about this shit. We're gonna fucking
No,
go
I
through
didn't.
it. Yes, you fucking did.
I acknowledge that you played Magic, and then
No, you said a
Post
bunch
Malone
of
played
Yes.
the game
and then
too.
he had the card. Yes, we go into it.
We got it.
So anyway, the kid went there. He looked at it and he said, "Yeah, I'll buy it." Gave
Cool.
him $2 million for it, or 2.4 million Canadian, or whatever the fuck it is.
Good for
Yeah.
for both of them.
So
Good for
and they
her.
lived happily ever after.
yeah. Well, we'll get back to the Bobby.
Speaking
thing.
of living happily ever after,
No, not yet. Not yet. Bobby died. So, yeah, I got that text from Kevin saying that Bobby died. And I agreed with you.
Yeah.
I agreed with you because you said, we all kind of saw this coming. And I go,
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I almost felt like I figured he would have overdosed and lived through it at a couple of times or something.
Which has happened, apparently.
And the thing is, I had no idea that had happened.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, all right, he's dead. I get it. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen at some point. So, come
Well,
a
this
few
day and
days
age,
later.
yeah,
So
everyone's
how did you end up meeting Bobby?
How
Because I met him through like Magic
Oh.
the Gathering and then
Well,
hanging
I,
out.
I met him
and
back
kinda
when I
partying.
was like 12. He was playing in this with some kids in the neighborhood in this cul-de-sac across the street from my house, and I just happened to be going over there and hanging out. That's where we met.
You guys got molested together. That was their bonding
wait, you guys
experience.
like all the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
age then, or is he like
No, he's a couple years older than me.
okay?
But,
he's-
but
So is
So
he
Bobby's
like-
more
he
like
was
what,
like-
Jake's age.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's like, yeah, so I just turned 40, so I think he's like 42, 43, something like that.
Oh, he's young.
Okay, so he's probably more Jake's age. Well, what is Jake? I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah,
Like
I
41,
think
42.
he's maybe 2 years older than me, I think, if I
I
remember
think
right.
Bobby's in the same.
Yeah,
I think
something
I
like
was the
that.
oldest out of the group.
Yeah.
But so you
That
met him
sounds
when you
about
guys
right.
were 12 and got molested, and It's a bonding experience.
Oh yeah, that's how we bonded.
You know?
It's trauma bonding.
Yeah.
is what it
Trauma
is.
bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
course.
you were trauma bonded together for life, and that's what sent him down a dark spiral, is knowing you. And I get it.
Well, hey, I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before.
That's true.
You guys sure know a lot of people who die or died or killed themselves.
Well,
and
it's 'cause-
But wait,
it's terrible.
there's more.
It's because well, at least I don't know about you, but I mean, I grew up around a lot of fucking people.
He
that
grew up
did
on
dumb
Burton. Burton was, like it had its spots of decent parts.
Yeah.
I
and
grew
then
up on Burton.
plenty of shitty parts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I was in the better part of Burton.
Where? How far?
149th.
Yeah, way better.
Yeah, I was
You
off.
fucking. It's not called Burton there.
I was off like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 28th.
Yeah, they changed the name because they're
Yeah,
like,
okay, hey.
this is the nice area.
Do you know where Burton Market is?
Yeah,
Right,
that was terrible.
Yeah, I know
right
Burton
over in
Market.
that area.
It's fucking the
The
terrible
It's
neighborhood's
only
in
area.
that
10 blocks away.
Yeah.
Well, it's
One,
like
So it's that area.
149th?
That
No,
area.
149th is like 60
Burton
blocks
Oh,
away.
you're talking Burton Market over there.
Yeah, the one that's
Yeah.
called Burton Market.
Yeah, I was thinking Handy Andy's.
Yeah,
No,
Handy Andy's
that's
is
further
not.
up. Yeah.
How
that's
come there's
further
so
up.
many Handy Andy's? There used to be one on St. John's.
Well,
too.
it's not there anymore.
No, I know. The
well,
St. John's one isn't
No,
either.
neither is the one. Yeah, both of them are gone.
But yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know Burton Market's nice because it's got shutters.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
because it looks like you could move it.
Yeah.
Like it's a trailer. Like that's what the fucking business looks
Yeah,
like.
that place
Because it's
is-
just
a
it's nothing
little-
but metal siding that you
Yeah,
can roll
it's-
up and down.
It's just a little building.
Yeah. So you
I
guys
know
kind
a
of
guy
grew
that
up.
robbed that place. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, you got.
When did that happen?
Oh shit!
What? Somebody tried to rob it?
It's been robbed several.
Oh, I
times.
know.
Oh, yeah,
and-
but
and
when did
G,
that
the guy
one
that
happen?
that owns
my
it.
friend's brother tried robbing.
Oh,
it.
really?
So maybe back in
When?
like I want to say like 80s, mid 80s, late 80s.
Oh, this was before.
Okay,
G
because
bought it
I'm
then.
thinking of the. There were rumors of some. I can't remember who it was, but somebody robbing it back
Well,
in
yeah.
the 90s that we knew.
I don't
I
know.
don't
If
remember.
I didn't know the guy.
There was rumors.
Yeah.
I just don't remember if it was
Well,
that same.
the
fucking
robbery
place.
I know of. G, the guy that owns the place, he pulled a gun on and then tased the shit out of the guy, and the cops came and busted him.
So he didn't pull a gun on him.
No, he pulled a gun and tased him.
We'll see.
Oh.
Did both. He held him there with a gun and then fucking tased him too.
Yeah, my buddy's brother tased the actual guy.
Oh, really?
From what I understand.
Oh, okay.
So he
There's a
learned.
picture
So
of
he.
him
this is before G
going up and
owned it,
over the
though.
counter
So
with a
G.
taser on
So
the guy.
G learned from that.
No, no,
mistake.
no,
He
G
said,
didn't
"You know
own
what?
it.
Fuck it. I'm gonna have
No,
a taser.
G didn't
I don't
own it
care
in
if he
the
owned it
80s.
in the 80s. He learned from that. You can learn from other people's
It could have
shit.
been the 90s because I didn't move up here until the 92, so
Yeah.
it could have been.
It's fucking wild.
So I remember-
But anyway,
'cause
what a
I-
shitty neighborhood.
Well,
anyway,
yeah.
it's a shitty neighborhood. So you
it's
ended
getting
up
better.
you ended up making that text to me. It's getting worse in
Ish.
spots.
Yeah,
It
it's
depends.
getting. It's
It all
getting.
depends.
It's
the bum villages are getting
You know how we-
crazy over there.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
You know how we
yeah.
live in an area that's got those microclimates all over the place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's microclimates of shitty people over there.
That's
It
true.
really is.
They have
That is really
microclimates
There's
of.
like a gated mansion household there, though.
Oh yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I had-
know
Which
what
is
you're talking
fucking
about.
wild.
Yeah,
I know.
It's in the middle of it.
Seriously.
I've been in there.
That neighborhood is like
Dated a
it's
girl that
like
lived there.
multiple different cultures.
Yes.
Like
But
you know,
here-
and like class rankings.
Here's
you
the
know?
crazy thing, though. It's like that neighborhood. It's like, so you know how they'll say like, oh, this area's got 100% chance of rain. Theirs is, you've got 100% chance of crime.
Yeah. Meth over here.
Yeah, 100% chance of meth, 100%
Gang
chance of
activity
fucking
over
gang
here.
activity, 100% chance of somebody's gonna beat you up just for no reason.
Okay, and then speaking of the weather thing, on where I would live, it's in a valley. So like there were times where it would snow all over Vancouver except for on my street.
That's because everyone's cooking.
Yeah,
That's just it.
Right?
it's because of all the meth there.
It's all, everyone's cooking in their houses. That's why.
That's why there's so many house fires over by your place. So anyway, you grew up in.
Hasn't been any
I
house
wouldn't
fires.
say that you grew up in like the shittiest part of the
No,
neighborhood.
my neighborhood's actually
Your
nice.
neighborhood's actually
It's
not
a decent
bad.
one, yeah.
But I know that some of the and some of the other neighborhoods in there are not bad either.
No.
But the whole street sucks.
right.
Which is crazy because
yeah.
it's like 35 feet from your place.
Yeah, it's not that
So
far.
it's
That's
fucking
the thing.
wild.
It's like you said, it's like microclimates. And,
Yes,
you
it's
know, stuff.
microclimates
It's so
of
weird.
shit.
It's
and
so
then
weird.
we had friends that would go and blow up people's mailboxes with dry ice bombs.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the best way to do it.
Yeah, I still remember. Wait, before we get back to Bobby, I remember Jake. This was one of my favorite things he ever did. He was making a dry ice bomb, right? And he's like, "I don't have any water. You got any water?" I'm like, "Why the fuck did I drive around with water?" No, I don't have any water. He's like, oh, don't worry.
You don't live in the fucking desert.
He's like, don't worry. I got to take a piss, so I'll get it.
Oh, shit.
So he pees in it, closes it, it blows up in his hands.
Oh, fuck, dude.
He gets pissed all over himself, and he goes to get back in the car. He's like, what? Dude, you're not getting back in here.
Oh, my
I was like,
God.
you can walk. You live down the road. I'm not fucking driving you.
Hands are all fucking mangled and
Well,
shit.
no,
Like,
they
you're on
didn't.
your own,
They
pal.
didn't get mangled. Luckily, it wasn't super powerful, and it wasn't
So-
in a confined
and
space.
this
He was
is-
holding the jug.
Was
like
this back when he lived on Burton?
Yeah.
In that one house? down the road from
No,
Burton Market?
I think it was way later.
Okay.
Which was not way later, but later enough.
Okay.
He might have.
He lived in the other house,
It could have.
maybe.
It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
No, because we knew you guys.
Okay.
So then it had to be the other house.
It
'cause
had
you
to be
didn't
the
know
other
him
house.
when he lived
I didn't
here.
know him when he lived in
So fucking
even though he
weird.
lived like right down the road and around the corner
They
from me.
lived like 3 minutes away.
Well,
Didn't
that's
know each
wild
other.
is realizing how close I used to live next to Kevin.
Yeah, no shit.
Not really.
I mean, you were
You lived
well,
in a totally different dimension.
Yeah, you were you were
Evergreen
down.
neighborhood.
Yeah, you lived
Yeah.
in a different
You
dimension,
lived
Tim.
on
You lived
the
in
other
a
side,
different
basically.
time zone.
I went to his neighborhood to get
Essentially.
drugs.
Yes.
That's how.
Yes.
I might have gotten drugs from the same place you did back then.
You guys might have bumped into each other a couple
Could've been.
times.
would've
We
been
may
surprised.
have.
So,
I just
anyway,
didn't know it.
Surprised.
I don't know where Bobby grew up, but apparently
Same. I mean, he lived on Burton Road as well,
Did you-
not too
okay.
far down the road from me.
So, but you get a hold of me with that message.
yeah.
How did you find out?
So I found out from it's Bobby's aunt and uncle
Okay.
in the morning, and which is Savannah, my
Yeah,
girlfriend's
your fiance.
parents.
Fiance. Buddy.
Get it right,
Fiance.
fuckface.
Fiance.
Oh,
you
if
gotta
she
say-
hears that,
Whatever.
she will fucking kill
You
you.
gotta
Oh,
fix
God.
that, dude. Take
Yeah.
care of that.
It's
Fix
a
that.
Fucking, oh God,
Fix
who
that.
gives a shit?
Fix that in your fucking brain,
Anyway,
motherfucker.
You're gonna
Anyway,
marry this woman.
You were gonna
dude.
die tonight.
marry that girl.
Hey, Kevin.
That's only if she sees the episode.
Future Kevin, clip that
So anyway,
and then send it to me.
yeah, right. Fuck you. I'm not letting you have that blackmail on me. So
I can't wait. Because future Kevin's gonna
and
be.
you don't watch the show, so you're gonna forget about this
No,
right
no.
after we're done recording.
Future Kevin's gonna be like too tired and be like, "Oh, dude, I should clip that and send it to Shane," and then he's just gonna send it to me, and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, got him."
So, okay.
Stupid Kevin got me this.
So anyway, I get the message in the morning. It's like 8 in the morning that I'm told to have a seat, sit down. Bobby died.
One of those serious
Yeah,
thoughts.
and I was
Golly.
like, whoa.
And Kevin
what the
immediately takes his pants
And,
down. He's like, "All right, I guess just
Again?
just make sure you only hit me twice." You want
So-
me to find my own switch?
fuck? So then, and it wasn't too long after that, I sent you a message.
Yep.
I think maybe an hour or two later, I don't remember. And then I talked to Jeremy. Well, after I went over to their house, and
Yeah.
everybody was like beside themselves over there.
Yeah, and then it.
Because they thought he was gone.
Yeah,
you know?
well, and then that's the thing. I mean, it was sad, and
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, like, so just let me know when the funeral is, so I can at least go by.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, I mean, first off, comfort the people that knew him better than I did.
For sure.
'Cause I was friends with Bobby, but I didn't hang out with him a lot.
Yeah,
I hung
yeah.
out with him in our friend group.
Sure,
That's how I knew Bobby, right?
Well, and
And that's
I hadn't-
basically how I knew you too. Is we
Yeah.
all hung out in the same friend group.
Right.
We didn't all individually. Like the person I individually hung out with was Jake.
Yeah.
That because we just went and skateboarded all the time.
Yeah.
None of you guys skateboarded, so I was like, well, if you're not going to skateboard, no reason to hang out in downtown
Well,
with you.
and I think you and I started hanging out more during the airsoft stuff.
Yeah, that's
When
true.
all that stuff started going on.
You'd
in
come
your
over,
house.
but it was all still friend group type shit.
Yeah, we would all
'Cause
be up there playing.
That's kind of how we all hung out. We never really hung out individually. We all just
No.
hung out as like a group of friends.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 of us at a time, almost always.
yeah.
And so I mean that's kind of how I knew Bobby, and we'd also go over to what's his name's house, the guy that had the big giant magic cards, the Vanguard cards, lives down in Oregon now. Got super pissed off when he came over to my house because he learned a new rule in Magic that he didn't know. Junior, god damn it, how do I
Junior.
not remember his name? But I remember playing with Junior, and Bobby would come over to those games too.
Yeah,
He'd play like
yeah.
6 players and just have a blast playing it because the Vanguard cards ended up making it more fun.
Yeah.
But Bobby would still do his stupid shit. This is what I loved about Bobby. Bobby knew what all the cards did, knew how all the cards worked, and yet would
But
use
didn't use them properly.
Then use them so stupidly.
Yeah.
Like somebody that's really good with money, but also terribly bad with money. Yeah, they're like, oh, dude, I've saved up all this money. I better blow it on something real quick.
Before I spend it.
Before I spend this money, I need to make sure I get rid of it.
Yeah,
That was Bobby with the Magic game.
Yeah.
And apparently with everything else in his life. So he ended and living on the edge is what I would say.
Well, yeah, and the only reason I knew about it
High
is
wire
because you told me that a friend of yours in
Yeah.
Gaines had died. It's like, oh, that sucks. man.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty shitty. I mean, I was like, I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
fentanyl overdose, and that's
Yeah.
going around everywhere.
yeah, and that's why it's super believable. And
Yeah.
you just go, oh, well, okay, I get it.
Yeah, people are dropping like flies from that shit.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
or
so-
like people that took fentanyl.
Yeah, that's going to be the new phrase.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of dropping like flies, dropping like
People that
fentanyl-
took fentanyl.
fentanyl addicts.
Oh man, he's dropping like a person that took fentanyl.
Fentanyl
Oh man, that's
o-
terrible.
Overdose.
All these dead people, they're dying like they all overdosed on fentanyl. But that's what Bobby did. So back to the
Apparently.
Bobby story.
So what was it? And then that like over the next day
I
or
think we
two.
recorded that day, I think, too, didn't we?
Yeah, no, that was
No, it wasn't.
No,
I think
'cause
it
that
was like
was
a Thursday or
the-
something.
Day
yeah,
prior?
Yeah, it was the
yeah,
day
day
after.
prior.
Because I remember wanting to say something completely inappropriate about that in the group text, but I was like, I probably shouldn't, just because
I would have.
Yeah.
didn't want to upset
I said that to
people.
Kevin.
Hey
Yeah.
man, we were talking about it.
I
We were like,
remember
dude,
making a
it's-
joke.
Yeah, we were like,
Terrible.
black humor's the way to go,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know, that's what prisoners do.
It's called dark humor.
Dark
Kevin.
humor.
No,
Black
I
humor,
like
dark
black
humor.
humor better,
Yeah,
especially in
it's
prison.
like a Tyler Perry movie.
yeah, it's
Or
Oh
what do you
man,
call it?
we
Gallows.
get
no,
we get
gallows
someone
humor.
to dress up as Medea.
Oh, gallows humor, whatever.
Dark humor
Whatever. That's
or a black
there's a
comedy.
saying.
Black comedy's another one.
dark,
Oh, there you go.
dark
Whoa.
comedy,
You know,
black comedy.
No, they actually call it black comedy.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be called. Now black comedies are different.
So anyway, so I'm getting
They are.
Okay.
So anyway, for like
Anyways.
a couple of days there, I'm getting calls from old friends and
Yeah,
stuff. People I
I
haven't talked to
got
in a long
one.
time.
Stephanie got a hold of me.
Yeah,
texted
she
me. She's
talked to
like,
me too.
Hey, can you give me Kevin's number? And I'm like, sure. I don't mind giving it out to
Yeah.
everybody that asks. That doesn't bother me at all.
Well, yeah, she contacted me. I talked to a few other friends from back in the day that I haven't talked to in ages.
Yeah,
And because they had heard elsewhere from other people.
it's amazing how it
And
spreads.
Dude, it spread everywhere, like within
like a plague.
hours, man. And
Like some sort of disease.
probably within a 12-hour period, everybody knew.
Well, it sounded
You
like
know?
he had an effect on several people's lives. I mean, for everyone.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's more that
People
we
that
all
know him.
knew him. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
A lot
yeah,
of
I mean,
people
you-
knew him.
I didn't say positive or negative. It just said effect
Yeah.
on people's
Well, I
lives.
mean, I guess everybody has a little bit of both on people's
Did you mean
lives here and
effect
there.
yeah, effect,
or effect?
effect.
Effect.
Okay,
Effect.
effect. I say it the same.
No, they're different words.
Effect and effect.
They're different words.
I know that.
One starts
are.
with an A, and
Yeah.
the other one starts with an E.
I pronounce them the same, I guess.
Well, 'cause
Who
you're
gives a shit?
stupid. No, I give a shit. Let's get to the bottom of this, Tim.
No, I think we can get
Effect
to
and
the bottom
effect?
of Bobby's death,
Well, yeah. No.
his untimely demise.
His untimely demise.
Well, so he, and, you know,
Was greatly-
in
So
his,
anyway,
in his
exaggerated.
40s, overdosed.
So yeah.
What?
So,
Why is he in the position of like? This is
So apparently he's been homeless for years.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. Is like he at home with his family overdosing or something
No,
like
no,
that?
no,
You know,
no.
kids are with him. I mean, what's the,
No, he.
so? What's
he's
his
homeless.
story? Yeah.
And
So when did he become homeless?
So
I don't
this-
know.
How
I
does he
only
get in a
know so
situation
much.
where he's homeless?
I don't know anything about the homeless
See,
because I the
you don't
so
know anything about the homeless?
no. So here's no. I don't fucking. But anyway, so the only thing I remember from Bobby is we were friends on Facebook. Although apparently I don't think we are anymore somehow. Well, whatever.
Because he's fucking dead.
I guess he doesn't like me. But
He's homeless. How the hell does he have a Facebook?
yeah, but how did he unfriend me if he's homeless?
Well,
So there
even
you go.
even some homeless
Uh,
people have phones and
Yeah,
shit.
he's
you
got his
know?
Obama phone.
Actually,
yeah,
from what
that's
I hear,
right.
he doesn't. That's why nobody can get in contact.
So,
with him.
but anyway, so the last things that I remember seeing from him was him and his wife, ex-wife, whatever the fuck she is. They're having terrible times, and he would always post about that. And then he would always post about like, I'm just gonna end it all, knowing that that's not what he's gonna do. That he's trying to get her to see that on Facebook.
right.
And it's like, I just wanted to reach out and be like, dude, stop it. Just fucking stop it.
Yeah.
If you need to talk to her, fucking talk to her.
Yeah.
And if you can't get a hold of her because she doesn't want to talk to you, move the fuck on and try to do something different.
Bing, bing, bing.
It's
There
I mean
you go.
it sucks, obviously.
But that's That's life.
Life sucks.
You know, sometimes
there's a
life
lot of
does
shitty
suck.
parts about life.
Yeah.
That's life.
That's life.
I'm not gonna do it.
No,
No.
I said it better than Kevin did.
Yeah, actually you did. It did sound better. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know all the details here because also me and Bobby, we hadn't really hung out or even talked for like 2 or 3 years.
No, because when people
Before all
start
this
getting into meth, I just kind of get away from them.
That's probably the best idea.
You
Well,
know?
and that's the thing. We just sort of went our other ways. And like he got into other groups, friend groups. I
So
got into my own. You know that.
Speaking
kind
of
of thing. It happens.
meth, so this is what I've got to get into this real quick. This is what Jake said to me last time I talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, remember when we all got into meth?" I'm like, "I never fucking touched meth.
I
dude."
never did either.
He's like, "Yeah, you did. You did coke with me too." And I'm
Kevin,
like,
you never touched meth.
I'm
Come
like-
on.
I tried it one time when
I've
I was
never-
younger, and I
See?
hated it.
So you did
No.
it. You
One
fucking
time.
piece of shit.
No, one time.
You're off the show. Get the fuck out of here.
I did meth.
Oh my god, I'm surrounded by criminals.
Oh, again, that was another.
You were
I
already
didn't
surrounded by criminals.
I didn't
true.
know it was meth. I was.
You
told it
guys
was
actually
something
got
else.
arrested and stayed in jail.
And yes,
Both
it was
of you
a-
have been
Yeah.
to jail.
It was a terrible
I just got arrested and
experience.
released.
Meth
I
is
was
disgusting.
I was a catch
Yeah,
and
meth's-
release.
meth's
I have
fucking- I
no
don't-
sympathy for anyone who
Yeah,
gets
I
addicted
don't
to that.
understand it. I
It's
don't understand it.
disgusting.
But
Like,
Jake
yeah.
kept fucking being adamantly telling me, "You've done it. I know. I did it with you." I was like, "Jake, I've never once touched it." Every time I've seen it, I'm like, "Fuck that. It's disgusting.
No,
I'm out of here."
I tried it-
I was at the times I was rather get stoned.
Yeah.
Smoke weed and that was it. That was all I wanted.
I
Or
smoked it.
mushrooms.
I smoked it once, you know, when I was in a group of friends, and they got some. They were smoking it. I tried it. I was like, I don't fucking like this. Let's smoke weed.
Yeah. See, and
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
what
it
I-
on
yeah.
weed. Someone put
Yeah.
it on weed and didn't tell me about it.
See, that would be the only way to get me at that
I
time.
didn't like it.
When I was that age and all my friends were doing that shit, that would have been the only way for someone to get me with that. Same with Coke. Would have been snow caps.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been the
Oh,
only way to
yeah.
get
Frosted
me.
Flakes
Yeah.
is what it called it.
That would have been the only way to get me at that time because I liked weed back then.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah.
big
You
fan
know?
of weed. Huge
And
fan of weed.
Weed's
And-
one of those things I've always just kind of. I'll stop smoking for years. I'll go back to it. For
Yeah,
a year,
and-
you know?
so
Stop
that's the thing.
smoking for
So-
years, you know.
So I always stayed away from that. So anytime any of my friends got it, I've stopped talking to a lot of friends that have done this. Right. So
Well, it usually leads them to being kind of fucked up afterwards.
well,
Like,
not just that, but paranoid and end up stealing from.
That's what I
people,
mean. Yeah.
You know.
Once they
And that-
start doing
yeah.
that,
They're like,
shit, they
"Hey,
really can't
we're
trust them.
friends, so that
That
means
shit-
your stuff's my stuff,
Yeah.
right?
That-
I got to take your television."
Yeah.
And you're like, "I need that because
That
I
shit-
watch television."
Yeah, that shit just burns your brain out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
And-
not them; it's the drug. But it's unfortunate.
Well, that's the one thing that I liked about Jake telling me an honest thing about that shit. He's like, "Dude, once I was up for 8 days and I saw the ground turn into a little mountain
Yeah.
and like little demons fly around it."
Jesus.
It's because
And I
you're
was like,
fucking hallucinating.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, "That sounds fun."
Maybe you should
You're
stop doing
hallucinating
that.
due
Yeah.
to lack of sleep.
Yeah, I was like, "Dude, that sounds fucking terrible."
Yeah.
So once I heard Bobby, because I remember hearing Bobby was doing meth. Now I don't
Yeah.
know if you ever did.
Yo,
I
oh,
assume
yeah.
he did, but
Yeah.
I remember hearing that he did, and I was like, you know, I never got mad at Tyler when he did it that one
Yeah.
night when we were. So I brought over Mortal Kombat. Is it not Deception? Deadly
It was
Alliance.
Deadly Alliance, I think.
Deadly
yeah.
Alliance. And we're all playing. None of us know how to play the game. And I'm the only one getting close to beating Tyler, and Tyler's fucking up
Tyler
everyone.
is mauling everyone.
He's just mauling us. I would beat him every once in a while, and he's just crushing everyone else.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, how the fuck is he so good at this? He tells us like 3 months later, he's like, "Dude, I was on so much meth that night." And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
But Tyler was discreet about it. It wasn't fucking weird.
No.
So
we didn't
it never
even
bothered
notice.
us. Nobody,
we didn't
yeah,
really
none of us
notice he
noticed.
was on it. You know.
Yeah, I had a friend like that too. Was on it. And I didn't know. But
Yeah. Oh, we had a bandmate once that did that. I met a dude working at UPS, and I just asked him one day. I was like, "Hey, do you know anyone that plays bass?" He's like, "I play bass." I'm like, "You want to play in a punk band?" He's like, "Yes." And I'm great. He comes over. He's fucked up on meth, like out of his mind. He's also schizophrenic, so that didn't help.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
that's
he
a
ended
wonderful
up.
combination.
He ended up at one point thinking that me and Adam were actually cops, and what we were going to do is arrest him and then beat him to death in front of his mother while she was watching through a two-way mirror.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. This is exactly what he told me. He thought these were his thoughts. So I was like, "Oh, you think that might have been a bad move?"
How did you know? Who told you?
Like,
who's the informant?
So yeah, so this is why I stayed away from like meth and all that shit. 'Cause
yeah, yeah.
I knew way too many horror stories from that drug that I was just
For
like,
sure.
never gonna try it.
Yeah.
Well,
I felt the same about acid. Too.
That's what
never
I got.
tried that.
Okay,
When
now
did
I've
this
done that. That's
fentanyl-
fun, but
I've just
every
heard too
once
many
in a
horror
while,
stories.
you
Never
know.
tried it.
I've never really heard of fentanyl until about 2 years ago.
It's fairly new.
It's-
I mean, fairly new on the street.
I knew about it before 2 years ago, but the thing is, back when,
So did I.
when I was aware
But
of
I
it,
heard about
it came in patches that you had to get from a doctor,
Yeah.
and that's the only way I knew of it existing.
Well, I know
until
someone's mom that
now it's
actually
like
has
this.
to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because she's got some weird fucking blood cancer.
Yeah, that's the thing. They usually only give them to people that are like really
Yeah,
need
no,
pain
fentanyl
relief,
is usually
you know?
for cancer patients.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a pain reliever. It's an opioid.
yeah, it's an opioid. Yeah.
It's way stronger than any of the other ones. Though.
Exactly.
So better, like worse than like heroin.
it's
or shit?
more
Like,
powerful,
like
more
imagine
potent than
one
heroin,
fucking
yeah.
small like 5 milligram fucking oxy or something.
Uh-huh.
That same pill right there would fuck up like I don't know how many hundreds of people with fentanyl.
With fentanyl, yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
A small amount could kill like 10,000 people. I mean, it's like a crazy amount of people.
It's really potent stuff.
It doesn't need to. There's not much needs to be in any of the drugs. That's why they cut it with that shit.
Yeah.
Because it gets people coming back.
And that's why it's
You
so
know?
easy for people to OD on it, too.
Yeah. Because you can take too much really easy, really fast.
Oh man.
That's why, and the thing is, it's getting cut in Coke. It's getting cut like they're putting. And it's also cheaper, so that's another thing because
Yes.
it's completely synthetic.
So I just found out from a friend that they're now cutting it into like they're putting it into like weed and stuff, and it's killing people. They're buying weed off the streets, and it's that have laced with fentanyl.
It's a good
Oh
way
my
for the
God.
government to get people to just buy it and tax it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good way for the government to go. You know what? Just buy it at a regular store, where we control all the prices and fucking tax money.
Yeah. In fact, I heard
sure.
Colorado's not doing too well with it.
The
recently.
taxes?
Yeah.
Colorado's probably doing great.
Really?
I've heard
I've
otherwise.
heard good things from that.
Yeah.
Same
I
thing
think it
with
was about 5 years ago they were doing great, but I guess not so much now.
I
don't
I
know.
know
really doubt
Washington's
that.
still doing fantastic. They're making money hand
Well,
over
because
fist.
Washington did I think the most fucking scuzziest way to do it. They tax it at the grower, they tax it at the distributor,
Yeah.
they tax it at the store, and then they tax it in your possession. You know,
Yeah.
because you're a drug addict, and so he's the face of drug addicts.
How do they tax it when it's in your possession?
They tax
when you buy it. When
every
you buy it.
every time it touches anybody's hands, it's taxed at 30%.
Yeah. Basically,
it's a crazy amount.
It's like every
So by the time it
point
gets to you,
that it
it's
gets
already
to.
been paid for like a time and a half.
Oh, that's kind
It's
of
fucking no, it's not cool. They should tax it the same as everything else is taxed. That's how taxes should work. Taxes shouldn't be, well, we don't like what you're doing over here. No, we shouldn't do that. That's bullshit. Taxes should be fucking the same across the board or no taxes.
Well, and honestly, I mean, it looks like, it's starting to change. I mean, there's a lot more congressmen and stuff like that are getting more lax on it and more interested in making
yeah,
it
because they're
more-
stoned.
Maybe.
Well, yeah. As soon as we get the dinosaurs out, yeah, we'll start getting potheads in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
then we're
those
also going to
people
get a
are
lot of
dying.
other things like weird names and stuff.
Yeah, there's going to
Zim,
be
zim,
him,
zam,
hers,
flam,
yeah.
lam, ding dong.
Sir and Z.
So,
Yeah, we're
since
going to get
we-
a lot of stupid shit.
So anyway, back on the story.
Of what? Wait, who?
Just so
do you
you know,
Mr.
folks,
Bobby Boogilia.
folks listening
Yeah.
at
How
home.
did he get that name?
I don't know where that came from.
I have no idea either.
I don't know.
My guess is Jake said it because Jake likes saying stupid shit.
He likes saying weird shit.
Yes,
It could have been.
that
him.
would be my guess. Because he would always say dumb fucking things, and then it would just stick to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's how it happened.
Yeah.
So that's my guess.
So anyway, so after all this is going on, everyone thinks he's gone. We're gonna have like a bunch of us friends are talking about having a celebration of life kind of thing.
you didn't
get
mention,
together
you
and
didn't fucking
stuff.
get a hold of me.
Well,
on that.
we
what
hadn't.
a fucking
we
cunt
hadn't
you
planned anything yet. We were waiting for the funeral stuff to come up. And we were gonna say, hey, we'll
You
all
find out who your
figure
friends are,
something
don't
out.
you? You really find out who your friends are.
Shut up! There were no plans made yet.
I even let you play my Mortal Kombat 11
Oh,
machine.
quit whining! You would have gotten a fucking invite.
I'm so mad at you right now.
Nobody had made any plans yet. Anyway, so we were waiting for the funeral.
I would have
stuff.
burned an effigy.
Will you
I
just
would
shut up?
I would have burned an effigy, a disenchant for him. I would have done it.
I know you probably would.
I would have. And a circle of protection white.
So,
Jesus, you fucking nerd.
so anyway,
Oh my god.
it would have happened.
so I'm starting to wonder, because I haven't heard anything about funeral. It's been a few days. And usually a couple days later, you start hearing stuff about that.
Usually within a week
Yeah,
or two.
but
so we were getting close to where the cutoff is.
Right, and the thing is, I hadn't seen anything like an obituary and nothing. No other information.
Again,
about
that's
this.
also another thing that could take up to a
Could
week
have.
or two.
So then, basically, I find out that another part of the family who doesn't live in town has been looking for him too, and they haven't been able to get a hold of him, so they're all freaked out and they're trying to talk to people on Facebook and stuff, trying to get a hold of people. Hey, you know where he's at? You know where he's at? You heard from him? Nobody's heard from him, and so people start telling him, well, he died. We heard he died from fentanyl overdose, and then someone's like, no, man, we saw him like the other day somewhere, and
I think you're putting the cart in front of the horse at this
I might
point.
be. Oh,
I think you are. I think
so,
the first
no,
thing
no.
you should mention is his daughter.
Okay, so so
That is a much better fucking.
So
part.
his daughter, because he's got two kids. One of them's he's got an older daughter.
Oh,
and the
I thought you were
other
going to say elderly.
an elderly daughter.
He's got an
yeah.
elderly daughter.
Bobby's 300 years old.
He adopted.
Bobby's timeless.
He
Yes,
adopted
yes.
his wife.
He's a Highlander.
You can't kill him even with
He
fentanyl.
adopted his wife. So
It's a Sunni thing.
Yeah. So anyway,
She would've been younger
his
then.
daughter
Either
gets a
way.
hold of his mother and is asking these questions, and going, hey, so where's the death certificate? Is my
where's his body? Because
Do you
we're
know
now
what funeral home he's at?
we
was one of the
would like to go and
questions.
see his
Yeah,
body. Just
and-
so we know, like, hey,
Yeah.
because the weird thing is, even when you hear somebody died without seeing the body, sometimes it's hard to just put that into perspective.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Especially if you talk to them recently or something like that.
Yeah. Well, especially also since there's so little information
It's
around
his
about
fucking
it.
daughter.
Yeah.
That's what blew my mind. It's
Yeah.
it's his fucking daughter. It's called. Hey, is my dad
Wait,
dead?
Yeah, that's
You're
literally
getting
one
in
of the
front of the
things-
fucking
yeah,
cart.
so-
Fucking blew
or
my
horse
mind.
right now.
So basically,
Calm down.
And the mom, then the
wait,
mom.
what's her name?
I'm
Grandma.
grandma. The
Just
grandma.
say the name.
mom. Okay, Terry.
There we go. The
Terry.
reason it has to be Terry, we have to say it because the second you do it, Tim's going to say something in a moment. So go
I
ahead.
am?
Yes, you are.
Oh.
You're going to say
So
exactly
anyway-
what you
anyway,
said to me.
This
Look it
individual
up.
is
shit.
telling the daughter. This individual is telling the daughter that there's no death certificate, and he's basically he's missing and presumed dead.
Yeah.
And then the next question comes is, well,
so
okay,
is he actually fucking dead?
actually dead? Is he
Where's the
legally
body?
dead? And she says, and Terry says, oh well, he did OD twice, and when he OD'd, he died. So yes, he's dead. And the way I see it, he's dead. It's
basically saying he's dead to me.
He's dead. Basically, he's dead
What
to
was that?
me, pretty much.
What are you doing?
And so his daughter asks again. He's like, so, okay, ODing and dying are two very different things. Is he dead? Did he die, or did he just OD?
Just for
Is
you?
he legally dead?
Weird.
And shortly after this whole back and forth, because obviously she's not getting any straight fucking answer.
Yeah, Terry's not dealing straight with her at all.
No.
At,
And then-
at least that's what it sounded
Yeah.
like through that text message or
Yeah,
whatever.
and then from what I find out is that Terry blocks her granddaughter after this conversation.
because she's asking
too many
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
That's what fucking
Because
blew
she's
my
like,
mind.
hey, he's
Yeah.
not dead, right? Is he dead? Is he fucking...
Yeah.
Where is he? If
Well, he
you-
OD'd. Well, that's
Oh.
not the same as dying.
That's not the same as dying. Yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah. She says like,
that'd be like
he
saying
was
somebody-
brought back with Narcan. It's like, okay, so he was brought back with Narcan. That means he's fucking alive.
And for one, Narcan brings them completely out.
Yes,
It blocks the opiate receptors
Yes, it
in the
does.
brain, and they come completely out,
Yes.
completely sober.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
And
so
they're usually angry.
oh, I bet.
Well, yeah, because
Probably
They
feel
want to
like-
be high.
yeah, you lose your high.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so
heard
it's
that.
like this whole conversation goes out on Facebook, so everybody sees these text messages, and it's like people are going, "What the fuck?"
Well, then why were you so weird about saying the name at first?
Because the whole thing, I just didn't
I
want to
know,
throw
that's-
names out there,
We're throwing names.
Anyway,
We're taking fucking names.
So my first response to this,
Well,
when I said
now
it,
it's gotten to a point where it's just ridiculous.
I said
Well,
it.
wait,
I
say
said to
it.
Shane, I was like, Terry fucking killed him, dude. I just know it.
and I'm
like,
like,
grandma killed her son, or
like,
mom
dude.
killed her son.
what did I say? It sounds like
You're like,
is
dude,
super
this sounds
fishy.
so fucking fishy.
Yeah,
And I'm like, and I respond, dude, it's so fucking white trashy. I fucking love it.
Yeah. So then I get into this thing and I go, dude, it is super white trash.
Of course, crazy grandma's name is Terry. I'll bet she has a fucking amazing mullet.
And then what did I say after that?
Smoking Pall Malls while watching her stories.
And then I eventually get into, she sees you come into the house. Hey, go ahead, make yourself at home. Grab a can of purple. Like she sounds like, this is what she sounds like. She's sitting on the fucking, on her chair. It's her fucking chair. You don't touch her chair.
No one sits on Terry's chair.
No. She's got a cat on one side, like fucking nothing but stains on the other side.
Cigarette burns. And
Yeah, there's cigarette burn. You walk in and you smell this smell that you're like, that smells familiar, but I don't know what do I put that
It's like
on?
a combo of cat piss and BO.
Yeah,
and,
but
and
then
cigarette smoke.
but then you realize, no, it's none of those. It's the spittoon sitting next to her. She's got a giant spittoon. It's a fucking 3-gallon mason jar.
Fucking some dead parakeet in a cage.
Yeah,
nearby or
yeah.
something.
It's just fucking. It's just skeleton and feathers, and you're like,
Christmas tree still up
You're
from
like-
like 3 years ago.
you're like, how come Squawks isn't doing anything anymore?
No,
Oh,
she's
Squawks
like-
is just he's tired.
Did you bring
Squawks
a,
is tired.
Did you bring a snack for my little Joey?
Yeah, and you're like Joey moved out 16 years ago. What are you fucking talking about?
Fucking Terry, man.
She's like, go ahead and grab one of them Werthers
She
over
wears,
there.
She
You're
wears
like,
cut,
Werthers?
like shirts with cut off sleeves, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can see that.
And one tit is hanging out
The
each
wobble.
side.
That's what I'm saying. Terry's probably my favorite character in
Like,
this whole story.
so me and Tim came up.
love Terry.
Me and Tim just kept going back and forth, coming up with, because I don't know her, so we just came up with this based on this small conversation we saw. We came up with this trailery trash lady.
Because who does that? You know what I mean?
And
Who
first
tells
off,
No shit.
who tells her granddaughter that her father's not dead or dead,
and first off,
and then argues the fact that he's not dead?
and then first
It's
off, the
insane.
name Terry,
Yeah.
right there, just automatically screams out like, "Hey, give me some more of them Pall Malls."
I'm telling you, she's like you can't tell if she's a lesbian or a dude.
Yeah. Just based on look,
Yeah.
you're just like,
That's
Kind of like Mac's mom off of Always Sunny in
it's not,
Philadelphia.
and no, it's
yeah,
just
grunts,
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
and no, it's not that you can't tell if she's a lesbian or a dude. You just can't tell. You're just like,
From the whiskers on her chin.
you're like, is she into what the fuck is going on with her?
Yeah.
Like, what bar would she go to? Is my guess. That's my question. What bar would she
The one
walk
with the
into?
cheapest well drinks and the hottest guys.
And you're like, oh, whoa, that's not what I expected.
Fucking
I
Terry.
expected the name of the bar to be Scissors or something like that.
That's the other thing is, I mean, it tells you a little bit more about Bobby. Not that I know him, but he's obviously estranged from his daughter.
Yes.
Estranged from his daughter and his mother too.
Yeah.
if you see that.
But
you
it
know?
sounds like his mother was more involved with his life than anybody else because she knew
Well,
about his death.
No.
She
Oh, well,
didn't,
that's the thing. No.
maybe.
Well, she knew about his OD.
Well, see, the thing is, from what I'm hearing now, is that the rumor of his death may have actually originated with her.
So Terry's the one who said,
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So,
fucking
it-
God.
you
So
know,
she's
yeah.
basically announcing his death and she has no idea. So
She's no
Yeah.
she's
fucking
doing
idea.
it for fucking attention.
No, this
That's
is
what
this is what's
everybody
happening.
thinks.
This
That's
is exactly
so
what's
fucking
happening.
wild, dude.
She's watched her 16th season of fucking Judge Judy, and she's like, "This is boring now. I got to start one of my own stories."
Something's up with Terry. Something's up with Terry.
She's just going, you know what? I got an idea from Jerry Springer. The Springer Show showed me something. I'm going to make my own story.
I miss
and
my
we're
family. I
all
want 'em
going to
all-
have fun.
Yeah, she wants some attention. Golly, Terry.
Yeah, and the most negative attention you could get.
How wild is that? That's
it's insane.
fake her son's death to get attention from the family.
Either that or she has a fucking, like, some sort of, like life insurance on him, and she was hoping that maybe that went through. You know what I mean? Like, there's
The
crazier,
Gerber life grow up
there's
plan or something like
crazier
that.
fucking thoughts that people have
Right.
had, and they'll be, oh no, they're dead. And then if enough people think they're dead, we can just go in and get a death certificate.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but that's not how that works.
No,
You're
Terry
fucking
doesn't
crazy.
think that far ahead. I'm sorry, I don't think Terry's got that capability.
And she's not in there playing the chessboard.
She's just doing
She
it for
might be.
attention.
No, she's playing checkers, man.
She wants the
She's playing
conversation.
fucking checkers.
She's fucking bored.
And her opponent's a chicken.
King. After that conversation, king me.
No. After that conversation, she's like, "I got your rook," and you're like, "You're checkers. It's fucking checkers. There's no rooks. The fuck are you doing?"
Domino, motherfucker.
Yeah, she starts going. What is that? The Chinese checkers called? What is?
Pente.
No, it's a different name.
The Chinese
Mahjong?
checkers?
Mahjong. There we go.
Mahjong.
It would have been better
Yeah.
earlier. I couldn't remember the name.
So
Feels so sad.
basically,
So you're gonna let that warm up? That makes sense.
So we, it turns out, that this is a rumor may have originated from his mom, which that's what I keep hearing from people, that's where it originated from.
Well, yeah,
So
but we haven't even gotten to
whether
the
I
part
kn-
to where
so
we found out that it's a rumor.
Yeah.
How did we find out that it's a rumor?
Well, we found
That
out,
we need to know first.
So we found out it's a rumor because, obviously these other part of the family looking for him
Not
started to
just
stir
that,
stuff up.
but after
and-
we talked to Stephanie,
Yeah.
Stephanie talked to some people.
yes,
What are you talking
our
about?
friends,
What's this person?
So, we have
me-
a friend, an old friend Stephanie, who also used to hang out with all of us
Stephanie
back
gets
in
a
the day.
hold of me on Facebook, and she's like, "Hey, can I get Kevin's number?"
So this is a girl
Right.
that was a member of the friend group back in the day.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
she was.
So she
kinda,
knew Bobby.
She was kind of an extended member of the friend group, but yes,
Right.
at
like
the
a
time.
toss around kind of girl. Like everyone's had a ride, or
I
No.
don't think that that's the case. No.
I don't know. Just asking. Could be
no.
spicier that way though.
No, I know.
that
I know
wasn't
that
the way, though.
I could have fucked her back then, but I was also like, "Yeah, you're 17, so no."
Oh,
Yeah.
so she was a younger.
No,
Yeah, and I was
but
21
but
at the
also
time, so I was
she-
like, "No, I'm
well,
not,
also
I
the
can't
thing
do
is,
that."
she had her little group of friends that
Yes.
also would join into our
Yeah,
group
and
of
that's
friends
what. That's
and
why
hang
I
out.
say
That's
she was
kinda
part
what
of
it
an
was.
extended group of
Right,
friends.
right. And
So,
so
it was part of the group, but
yeah.
extended.
So she heard about this guy's death,
No,
Bobby's death.
No, yeah,
Yeah, and so she gets a hold of me. She goes, "Hey, can I get Kevin's number?" And then we bullshit
Yeah.
a little bit about Bobby, saying, like, she said, it's really sad. And I was like, yeah, it's sad, but it's also one of those things that we kind of saw coming. We knew about, like, that Bobby was deep into getting into, like, heavier drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that you might not come back from at some
That
point.
seems to be the normal response with this guy. Everyone's like, "Yeah, we saw it coming."
Yeah, well, that's the
So
response that we've
yeah,
had.
No
I
one's
don't-
really surprised about it except Terry.
No, and the thing is, even when I talked to Jake about it, because Jake found out from Kevin, Jake even said the same thing. Jake was just like, "Yeah, it's sad, but I can't believe he's gone, but at the same time, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I kind of understand." He's like, "Yeah, you do all the," but that's when Jake told me that I did all the same drugs they did, and I was like, "I did not."
Yeah, well, you know what?
I
And
stayed away from those.
you know what? Jake's response when I told him about when we thought Bobby had died, I told him, and he was just like, "That fucking idiot." That was his first fucking
and you know what?
response.
That actually makes sense because
Yeah.
I kind of felt the same way. Like, that's a dumb move, but not unexpected.
Yeah.
So Stephanie ends up getting a hold of us, and then a few days later, we find out that this might be not real.
Well, and the thing is, that's how I started getting those text messages and other things, is because Stephanie was sending them to me, copies of them, because I don't use social media really. So she was getting them because she was seeing all these conversations on social media, and so she was sending them to me, and that's how I
That's
started
a
finding
good
out
cover
about
that he
this
has
stuff.
for his girlfriend. I don't use social media. I don't use social. I don't know why she's DMing me. It's a good cover, Kevin.
Okay, right.
You fucking
Anyway.
Jen.
So anyway, let's.
I had to derail it just a little bit. That was
Well, you
perfect.
derail everything.
That was perfect.
So,
though. That was
um,
perfect. It got you all flustered.
No, I'm trying to remember where I was at.
Stephanie got a hold of you, started talking to you about the social media stuff.
Right. So she started sending me like copies of all the shit. Jesus, shit.
I'm good at it.
And so that's when we started realizing, okay, maybe he's not dead. Then
Well, that's the thing. When you showed me that, so last week's episode, before the episode, you go, "Hey, dude, I gotta show you some shit."
Yeah.
And you start
Yeah.
showing us, me and Tim, this stuff, and Tim's like, "Dude, this is gold."
Yeah.
Tim's like,
well, that's
Tim's like,
the stuff she had sent me.
Tim
Yeah.
feels like he's now reading the National Enquirer of somebody that he doesn't know, but he vaguely knows through us.
Right.
And he's like, "This is a great story."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
I know shit. Tim's just
So-
eating
I
this
fucking
up.
love it, dude.
So you showed me this shit beforehand, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff from Terry to the
Yeah.
granddaughter,
Uh-huh.
and then how she blocked her and all that shit, and like how the rest of the family's like now asking questions
Right.
that didn't come up before because they just thought he was dead.
just
Yeah,
thought-
everyone
yeah.
believed it because it was believable.
Yeah, it was
Right.
believable,
Yeah.
right? So then the next day is when Stephanie is saying now, well,
So-
I'm going to go and look
Yeah,
for him
she
because I
starts-
know some people.
Exactly. So she starts talking to people. She starts asking around and going down, and then like going down there trying to see if she can,
Down where, though?
downtown Vancouver.
Okay.
Near like the share house where a lot of homeless people
yeah.
go to eat dinners and lunches.
Because there
and
was a
stuff.
rumor that somebody had seen him at one
Right.
a few days after this death happened.
Yes,
I
someone.
didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
So
That he was there to get food.
Yeah. So and then Stephanie ends up talking to someone that knows Bobby or knew Bobby and said that a friend of mine was literally sitting across from him eating dinner at the share house last night and like literally talking to him eating dinner, and so we were both like, holy fuck.
I was like,
Maybe he is alive.
are
And
you
then-
sure? There's a lot of drugs going on
but
down
I know,
there.
but that's the thing. Then she's like, well, that's one of the things Stephanie asked was like, well, do you know if this person's trustworthy? I mean, how do we know this person knows that they were really talking to him? Maybe they were talking to someone that looked like him.
or maybe they were fucking schizophrenic.
Or maybe,
Or
yeah.
maybe they're
they
just
that.
spinning a yarn because they like the attention.
That's
Well,
also the
yeah.
case. That happens in prison
Yeah.
all the time. I know about that fucking
Yeah.
killing.
Yeah.
And
I'll
so-
tell you about that.
And so this person, this individual said, yeah, I trust this person. So, so then that's when Stephanie
I always trust
started
the
going,
homeless.
well, I don't know the person.
I don't
so-
trust any homeless.
Anyway, so so that's when Stephanie started going down there and looking around and seeing if she could like
Ask
spot
questions
it.
and shit.
Asking around to different people.
Putting on her fucking
And-
little Kangol hat,
At the same time,
getting a monocle.
at the same time, around that same day or the day before, or the day
Start
after,
saying,
I
see?"
got a call from another buddy of mine, an old friend of mine, who said he swears he saw Bobby off of Mill Plain and Stapleton hanging out over by the park.
It's so fucking
And,
weird. Because like
and he's
3
like-
days before this, we're
Yeah.
like, hey, he's dead.
Yeah, and then so,
Right?
Yeah,
So
we're
and
like,
the thing is, my friend was
we just move on.
And the thing is, my friend was saying he's like, dude. And at first, I thought I was just like, when someone dies and you think you see him places.
And the thing is, like, I know that experience. I
Yeah.
remember, like, my
I've
best,
had that happen before.
my best
too.
friend Dylan, when he killed himself, like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing somebody that was like, oh, that guy vaguely, and then I'm like, nah, he's dead. And I remember also, I couldn't erase his fucking phone number for years
Yeah.
until I just got a new phone, and then it's gone.
gone.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
But I couldn't erase his number because I was like, maybe if I call, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
I,
No, it's weird.
I know in my brain that
No,
that makes no
sure,
sense.
sure.
But you're like,
Yeah.
maybe one time,
Yeah.
maybe. No,
I do get it
So,
though. And,
yeah.
and so like
So
and he,
I get
he
that.
thought it was one of those moments. So he didn't think much of it until later when he was like, man, that guy really looked like Bobby.
And I've seen people
And-
that I thought were somebody else, and then went and talked to him.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, you're not who I thought you were.
Well, see, and he didn't go to talk to this
Yeah.
guy because he thought that that's what was going on.
Yeah.
He was just misidentifying or something. And then later, because he could talk to me, and I was like, dude, yeah, we're hearing that he's not gone. So that might have been him. And
It's so fucking
so
weird.
then he's
dude.
been looking for him too, and I don't know if he ever found him or not because we hadn't talked since then. But then
Probably
Stephanie,
a good thing that I started this at the beginning.
yeah. So Stephanie
In almost an hour.
calls me, and this is like a day or so later, and it's probably sometime in the morning. It's not long after I got up, and she's like,
So probably around noon.
no, it was more like, I don't get up around noon.
I just assume you get up at noon.
No, I don't.
Okay, 11:30.
No, I'm usually up around 9:30, 10, 10:30.
That's still pretty
Just
late.
depends.
10:30?
It just depends.
Jesus Christ.
But
Must be nice.
man.
well, yeah, if I'm up late fucking
No,
editing, I'll up.
get it. You have no purpose in life. It makes sense. Surprised you're not down there hanging out with Bobby.
Yet I have a busier life than you do.
Because it's amazing how you can do nothing and have a busier life than me.
I don't do nothing.
What do you do?
I have a
Stuff.
life. Hang it.
Life? I do life? Life?
What do you do other than work and go home?
I pay taxes, motherfucker.
That's not
oh!
What are those?
Oh yeah, Tim, I forgot.
Anyway.
You're
Is that
under the
is that
table.
a prostitute? Taxes?
Yeah.
Let's get
We pay
on.
taxes
Let's
to
get
that
on it because we're almost done here. So, okay, I'm actually on the toilet taking a shit when this call comes in.
Okay,
And,
information maybe we didn't need.
Well,
No, it helps with the story.
hey, you want details,
paints a
right?
picture.
So anyway.
Okay, so Kevin's pants are around his
So
ankles.
yeah, so Stephanie
Some
calls
chick
me.
calls him.
and he's
Yeah.
fucking just dropping a log.
Yep. And did I mention, by the way, since I changed my diet, I have gigantic dumps.
Yeah, you've
now.
mentioned it several
Yeah,
times,
you've
Kevin.
said it
Thank
like
you so much.
magical.
This is,
Appreciate
I think,
that.
number 35.
Yeah,
Not that many times.
Kevin, if
Come
we
on,
had
come
an
on.
over-under like they did in the fucking Super Bowl of how many times we saw Taylor Swift, we'd have to bet the over. Is all I'm
You're
saying.
full of shit.
You're full
So
of
anyway-
shit, apparently.
you're full of
It
shit.
sounds
Kevin.
like you're
That's
full of shit.
Like, you
I brought it
gotta-
up like once.
You brought it up like 15 times at least.
I think you've
Where's your
announced
proof?
your large feces several times now.
I don't
But-
know. I could go through here.
I
Probably
digress.
once.
What did Stephanie
Anyway.
have
Yeah,
to
but
say
you
when
said
she
it a
So
few
called?
times.
anyway, she
At
goes.
least.
Anyway, she goes. She says, "Hey, guess who I'm with?" I was like, "Oh." And then she,
The President of the United States.
She tells
Biden?
Me, she
Is it
tells me-
Biden?
no, she tells me Bobby, and she hands over the phone to him, and I talk to him.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone.
So
for
he's
like 10
not
minutes.
dead?
He's not dead. I spoke to him.
Are
No,
you
he-
sure you talked to him?
He is
Oh,
dead.
I know
He's
his
definitely
voice.
dead.
Yeah, no, I know his voice. That
Yeah,
was
it's
him.
a very stonery voice.
When was this?
A
couple days ago.
couple days ago. Yeah, and maybe 3 days ago. So I tell him like, dude, we all thought you were dead. Like, we were all planning on talking about like having like a celebration of life after your funeral and everything, but then the
You know
funeral
what,
never
though?
happened, and and
Let's be honest. Maybe it would have been better if no one found him, and then we did that, and then we found him like 3 years from now. Because do you know how much fucking cooler that would be?
It'd be
Like, it
pretty
just-
amazing. Or
that
he,
would.
Or he
Yes.
shows up.
Just shows up out of nowhere, like a year and
No,
a
he
half. or
shows up
something.
to the party.
Yeah. He's like, hey guys, what are we celebrating?
Who are you?
We're all dressed in black, dude. What do you think we're celebrating? You're
I
dead.
didn't know you had talked to him. That's kind of cool. So I mean,
yeah. So and
how did
he-
that go?
Well, so he had no idea that people were looking for him, that people thought he was dead. No idea at all, and he was surprised, like that everybody was like, even
cared.
cared to look
Yeah.
for him.
2 years from now, Bobby's
know,
the CEO of a company because of
and
this
dude,
fucking moment.
And honestly, he was fucking so happy to know that anybody even cared about him, and
That's important.
so
That's
I was
a
like,
dumb thing.
well,
Like, he's a likable dude.
he is a super he is a likable.
I mean, he's
guy.
dumb, but he's a
just-
likable guy.
He's made shitty fucking mistakes in his life, but
As one does.
anyway, so I told him, well, hey, I'm gonna try to come down there and see you in the next couple of days, like Monday or Tuesday, which I tried to go see him yesterday,
Yeah.
and that's when this other part of the other chapter of this story happened.
Wait, what happened this
so,
time?
Well, I'll get to that, but anyway, so I guess Stephanie took him over to the. I already told you guys
Yeah,
yesterday.
she took him.
No,
No,
I
you told
didn't-
me.
I told you guys-
told
yeah,
me.
You
oh.
You
told
told
me
me.
shit, dude. I didn't
Oh,
hear
okay.
about
You only talked to me
Stephanie.
about that.
So anyway, so Stephanie takes him to her house and gives him some food and a shower and all that, and then he leaves, goes back to wherever you're staying,
to
and
take a dirt nap.
and
He's dead again.
So
That's the new
I
chapter.
plan on and then
Surprise!
So then
Found some more fentanyl.
yeah, so then me, Savannah, and her parents on
He was actually the guy
yesterday-
that lit himself on fire for Palestine.
yesterday.
What a way to go.
So yesterday we go.
What a weird story that would be if that was him.
So
Tell me
yes-
that happened.
What?
Never mind.
I'm not paying attention to you. I'm trying to keep my story straight. here.
No, I said. Then he went and ended up lighting himself on fire for Palestine. Wouldn't
Oh.
that be crazy if that was how it happened?
Jesus.
I'd be like, what a weird fucking week.
My guess is he probably has no idea any of this shit's going on.
No,
you
not
know?
dude. He probably does. Ukraine's in what?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is that?
Yeah, Joe Biden's president.
Who's the? Wait, Donald Trump was? No, he wasn't. Shut
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
He does that show, right, where he fires people.
Yeah,
Yeah, he also was in the Oval Office for a while.
Home Alone 2,
Yeah, he was in Home Alone.
which I
too.
heard they tried to edit him out.
Yeah, which I think is so fucking
It's
dumb.
so stupid.
I just don't
It
get
just
it.
shows you how crazy some of these fucking people really are. That they go that far because they hate someone so much. Anyway, so
Nobody's taking away Michael Jackson's music.
right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
Yet.
anyway, yeah. So
No,
we-
because they don't care about pedophiles.
So anyway, yeah, because they protect them. So anyway,
That's a good point.
we go down to where we're told that he's staying, and he's not there.
Oh yeah, you told me this part.
Now this part I heard.
Yeah,
I heard
this is what I told
you went,
guys.
Yeah, you went to go look for him.
Yeah, and
No, there's more to
you
it.
know, we had like a care package, just like a box full of like food and things like this and
Condoms.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hey, you never know, and you know when you're gonna need them, right?
Needles.
And
More fentanyl.
Just a jug. It just says in black marker fentanyl.
No, it doesn't even say that. It just has 3 X's on it.
Heard you're
anyway,
running low, bro.
So we get down
We're like,
there.
we already planned this funeral. Fucking get it over with.
so
Tick tock, buddy.
Time's clicking. Anyway.
So we get down there, and I find out from the people he was staying with that we missed him.
Where was he staying?
He was staying in a tent
Okay.
off of
Because
downtown.
when you say
basically.
people he's staying with, most people
Yeah,
would just be
he-
like, "Oh, a house."
No, not a house.
No, that's not what it is.
It was a tent.
He was staying in a
They're
tent.
Yeah.
subletting a corner of their fucking tent.
Right. Pretty much. I mean, that's
Jesus.
kind of what was going on. Yeah.
They're like, you can stay here, but half of your shit is ours.
We have to share the bathroom.
It's her mouth. What? Why are we doing that? She's into it.
So anyway, so I go down. We go down there, you know, and we call for him, try to find out. And someone yells out, "He's not here!" And I realize it's from this tent over here. So I go over to that tent. I was like, "Okay, so what happened? Did he go somewhere? Is he coming back? You know, what's the story here?" And they said, no, we kicked him out this morning. And I was like, "What?"
Like, it's pretty hard to kick someone out of
Yeah.
a tent.
Well, they
They're
did.
pretty easy to get back into.
Yeah. Well, they kicked him out, and and I couldn't really hear him very well. So they're like, just come on in, man, so you can hear me. So I went in.
Take a seat by,
Invited
I
to
was
the tent.
invited into the tent.
take a seat by the fire. You're like,
they
but
did-
you're just
no.
burning plastic.
Want some coffee? I'm gonna make you a pot of
Actually,
coffee here.
Speaking of fire, they
Some
did have a
tea?
fire
Of
going.
course.
But it was in like a little can. It was like
Yeah,
this
in the
big
middle of
around.
the
Yeah,
tent, and
yes.
they're lighting. It's
It was
probably
more
half
like to the far
plastic.
left
Whatever.
of the tent.
It
But
doesn't
yeah.
matter where it was in the tent. It shouldn't be
You
in the
telling me
fucking
they
tent.
had a
I
lit
know.
fucking fire in the
Yeah, there was a
goddamn-
lit fire
Dude,
in the tent.
Look, I'm making the
It was a
joke,
little-
but I
it was
know
a
that it's
little-
probably not a joke.
Jesus
It was a little
Christ.
can like
That
this,
doesn't
like this
matter.
big around. Yeah.
It could suffocate. Oh
I
my God,
know.
dude.
Trust me, when I walked out, I smelled like fucking burnt metal.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
Well, how else do you think they clean their needles?
They
Evan?
call the bear rug. It's just
Yeah.
a dead squirrel.
well, I guess hey, at least they're being safe.
They're like, would you like one of my wife's hats? It's like 7 squirrels fucking glued together.
So they
That'll be at $350. I'm like, no, I don't have money for your fucking hat.
Fancy
Your
names
hat's
for everything
disgusting.
in there.
So they tell me that earlier that morning they kicked him out because apparently, according to them, he stole something from them, and when they confronted him, he started to threaten them, and so they kicked him out. And
No, he said they. Is it just 2 gentlemen, 2 females?
no. There
or-
was a guy and 2 girls.
Oh,
And,
Oh, this guy's living large.
that's not bad at all. He's got
and,
himself a harem.
Well, and so
Heroin.
that's
It's called heroin.
And I was like, so you guys have no idea where he might have gone, if you know any friends he might have that he might have went to, and they said no. They said he stormed off that morning, and they hadn't seen him since. And
Bobby does
you know,
strike me as a storm off guy.
But they said also that they
he's done it before.
apparently
I've seen
the reason why they let him stay in their tent is because I guess his tent collapsed one night and he almost froze to death. They brought him into the tent and had to warm him because he was turning like purple and blue.
Jesus.
And they help warm him up, and they helped him, and they were saying that day like he was all cool, and then that day
I like how you added,
when they
he was all cool
well, I mean
after he
they
almost froze to
yeah
death.
Well, they I mean
Wah, wah.
they were saying he was getting along with them and everything until this whole thing happened. When they confronted him, that's when he just flipped 180 on
You
them.
stole my lucky squirrel. Why did you steal it?
They didn't say what he stole. That he stole
Drugs.
Drugs.
probably.
That's a
It's
big
fucking drugs.
surprise.
Probably.
Yeah, it's 100% drugs.
But so that is literally the last of the saga
It's
at
the
this
crux
point.
of it.
Yeah, until I get more information or if he pops up somewhere, that gets us current.
so people out there,
Where's Bobby?
where is Bobby?
Where is Bobby?
What does he look like?
Homeless guy.
So you can say,
If you guys see a homeless guy, start yelling Bobby at them.
Call out Bobby's
Oh,
name.
he's got a goatee, bald.
40s. So
Yeah,
probably if
early
he's homeless,
40s.
he looks like he's 60.
Yeah, 40s, but looks 65.
Well, yeah, this thing also, I have not seen him in years, so I don't know what he looks like now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've only spoke to him on the phone, so I have no idea how he's changed
Also,
his looks or whatever.
Anybody out there, try not to do fentanyl.
Yeah,
sounds like a
lay out the
bad
stuff.
thing.
Yeah,
know?
that's
Set
one
it for a bad
thing,
time.
yeah.
That's
But
all
also,
you're doing.
keep on the lookout for Bobby.
Yeah.
Because he might rob you, and you don't want that.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know who to. It's like, hey,
And who knows who Bobby is now? You know what I mean?
Who knows who
Bobby
he is now?
Bobby
and also
was a harmless guy when
sure,
we knew him.
right? But also, these
He
three
might not
people
be.
could have been lying to me too.
Well, you were
I have
could've
no
been the yarn
idea.
they were spinning.
You
Yeah,
were
bud.
also saying too. This is one thing you left.
You didn't have
out.
a box of goods with you. They were probably pretty interested
No,
in that.
I didn't show him that. We left that in the trunk.
Here was
but,
one thing
yeah.
that you left out of that whole thing. Bobby is hearing voices.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
kind of believe that. If he's
Yeah.
doing meth
Oh,
and
like
fentanyl,
schizo?
Well,
not necessarily.
know.
Meth will do it to you.
No.
I know enough people that
yeah.
had fucking meth hallucinations
Yeah.
and fucking voices and all this shit.
Yeah, you do enough drugs and it does so much damage to your
Meth
brain.
seems
that
to be
it
the
can,
one.
It can definitely
you know what I mean?
do that to you. Yeah.
I don't really maybe PCP, but that's kind of
yeah.
that's a different thing.
You can literally some of these drugs they'll do so much damage to your brain that it will be the effects can almost be like
He could also have unfettered
schizophrenia.
syphilis.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
You never know.
You
never know.
have that. Maybe that's why he's bald. Holy shit! I think I
he-
narrowed it down.
He was going bald when he was young.
No. He's had it for a long fucking time. He needs one of those white wigs.
Powdered wig.
That's why they
Powder
did that.
wig.
Yeah, we've
Because
covered
kings
that.
and kings would get syphilis, and they would put those on.
Yep.
It was all the royals because they'd fuck everything that moved.
Yeah, and,
Yeah, they
and
did.
each other.
They did.
Yeah,
Man, boy, they were bad
And
people.
each other.
they still are.
Well, shit, yeah.
And,
So thank you guys for listening to the
That's the whole show.
The
Wow,
whole-
we did an
the
entire
whole.
show on
Yeah, I
this.
told you that's why I started it early.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening to the saga of Bobby Booglia.
Yeah.
We
So
will-
far, the story so far.
The story so
anyway.
far. We will revisit this though as we start learning other things.
Yeah.
You know,
Thoughts and
information.
prayers,
But hold-
everybody. Thoughts and prayers.
those don't do anything. Don't give them thoughts or prayers.
Or send us money.
Send us money, and we'll see fit as to how Bobby will get some of that.
No.
I know that we won't. Shut the fuck up. Let's make it seem like we're being
Of
charitable.
course we're going to be charitable.
Well,
Send
first
a-
of all, we gotta find the guy.
No, we don't. We can just use this as our way to scheme fucking money from people.
That's brilliant.
that works.
actually.
God damn it, Kevin.
Help us help the homeless.
how-
Yeah, help us. Look, guys, send money to our Skids email podcast or thing. What is it called?
Garbage Pail Skids Podcast at gmail.com.
Send money.
Lots of it.
All right. Thank you guys
Yeah, I
for
guess that's
listening.
it. Yeah, thank
that's
you.
going to be it. Thank you for listening to the show.
Love you guys.
Follow us on our socials except for Twitter because Kevin got us kicked off for being racist. All right, goodbye, everybody.